Yeah.
That was so fucking good. Okay. My bad, my bad. Now we're rolling. So you can occasionally enjoy it when an approach when.
Yes, I enjoy being approached by men when I can feel that they're both inhabiting their desire in a way that's truthful. Like they're not trying to hide their desire from me, but they're also inhabiting their heart and their presence. So it's like I don't want a guy to come up to me and be all like, hi, it's nice to talk to you, and trying to kind of like hide their masculinity or sort of like apologize for the fact that they have a cock or something. Like I want them to be like, hey, like here I am, like fully inhabiting this being that I am, and I'm also right here with my heart, and I think that you're incredible. It's like just like having that full. I want the full range of impact there. It's like I want to feel all that together.
Yeah.
Then it's like even if I'm not attracted to the person, or maybe I'm busy, I'm with somebody else, or I still kind of be like, well, thank you so much. It's like I'll appreciate the. I think that in general, women like to be desired, but we like to be desired by people who are able to inhabit it in a upstanding, integrous way.
Honest and in integrated way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. And even an interaction that isn't necessarily welcome or desired up front becomes like a gift. It's just this little
Mm-hmm.
gift, a little
Yeah,
energetic, like boom, here you go. Like, oh, that
yeah,
was lovely, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody making a compliment. Just I'm at a coffee shop or something like that, and someone just being like, wow, you're just radiating today. Whatever. Not even like a hi, my name is, here's my number, or like, are you single? None even of that. Just like sharing a compliment, just sharing a acknowledgement of like, wow, I'm impacted by you.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And any like really clear turnoffs for you when it comes to a man making an approach, a cold approach?
Women are pretty darn smart. Like we're pretty intuitive creatures. If someone is trying to like put on the thing, it's like usually doesn't work. Um, I even have lovers who I've had for a number of years who there'll be times when they try to kind of like put on the sexy act, and I'm just like, oh, come on, don't play that game with me. But it doesn't work, right?
Right.
Um,
Performance is
yeah,
pretty transparent. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
When I feel someone is able to be comfortable enough in themselves to just kind of like show up with who they are and bring it on, and then, like I said, even if I'm not personally interested in pursuing the connection, I'll still just be like, oh wow, that was just sweet, nice.
Hmm. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you prefer to be asked for like a next thing? Somebody approaches you. Do you want to go for? Do you want them to go for the number? Do you want them to hand you their number? Do you want to be like, how do I stay connected to you? This is really yummy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you like in terms of that sort of staying connected moment?
I think any of those are fine for me. Uh, I think it's more important for me that someone's reading my body language to see if I even want that, want that kind of next step. Because there'll be people who I'm talking to and I'm kind of like, oh, it's nice to talk to you. And I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I gotta get back to my friends now. And, I'm kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
my body, maybe I'm turning my body away more, or I'm sort of like, okay, well, it's been nice. Like there's certain sort of, I feel pretty clear cues that I can give that I'm sort of like, well, this has been nice, but I'm going now. In which case I could just be like, hey, nice to meet you, like enjoy your night or whatever. But if there's like I'm gonna be clear if I'm into someone. I'm gonna be leaning in, I'm gonna be like smiling, doing all the cutesy girl things. It should be pretty clear that
Yeah.
more is
Paying
desired.
attention, it'll be clear that you're being desired. And if you're not being desired, then leave it the fuck alone.
It's just you can just graciously be like, well, it was lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy.
Because
Yeah.
you just nobody enjoys like when you're beating a dead horse or whatever. Nobody enjoys that
Yeah.
moment where it's just taken too far, and all of a sudden your energy is being captivated a little bit in a way that you don't want. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And same with, if there is a text exchange or that sort of thing, it's again, it can be pretty clear if someone's leaning into that conversation or, no, I don't need a voicemail and a Facebook message and this when I kind of respond back like, Happy New Year to you too. It's like I don't need
Thank
right.
you. Beautiful. All right. So let's say the approach was attuned, the question came and was welcome. You guys got connected, you exchanged a few texts, you're going on a first date.
Great.
First question, do you want to plan the first date? Do you want any sort of hand in planning the first date, or do you want to leave it to him? Do you want to kind of collaborate on that?
Well, I like when somebody has some good ideas, hey, like maybe we could maybe do this or maybe do that, but I'm kind of up for whatever. These days I've been preferring to be a little bit more of a homebody and more cozy and, not preferring to like go out to a loud bar, out to a loud, show or something where there's a lot of noise happening where I can't really connect that well anyway. I feel like there's such a range of things I might like to do on a first date, but it's nice to have some ideas, but I don't really care who's got the best idea.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily like dislike being asked what you want to do. Because I mean, some women are just like, dude, don't just fucking handle it. Like, we'll go on a date. Like, just tell me what we're doing and let's go. Like, I don't want to be in this whole process of like negotiating. But that's not you. You're more
Yeah.
like, oh, that's, okay, yeah, let's check that out. Low key, not loud, more connective.
Yeah.
And anything that's like a big no-no for you on a first date?
The first thing that comes to mind is that kind of like end of the night, sort of like kind of grab my head and sort of like go in for the kiss thing. I'm like, oh, just don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. This seriously happened, and
So again, you're likely going to communicate how open you are to more affection. Yeah. By
should be crystal clear.
Leaning in, by maintaining eye contact, by smiling, by
the hands,
touching,
or stroking them.
Yeah.
Should be
responding to touch, moving into touch instead of away from touch, by reaching out for some touch of your own.
I like when, like, if I'm going on a first date, I like if somebody does establish some sort of simple touch, like either on my lower back or, like putting kind of just an arm sort of casually around me or something, like that can be nice at the beginning of a date to sort of sense into like, okay, are we going to be more like cuddly in this space together, or kind of just giving permission for touch to be there.
Yeah.
It can feel nice. And again, I will clearly lean into that or not. And
Thank you. And so the first date's gone well. You both enjoyed it. Maybe the second date has gone well too. And both of you are excited to get more physically intimate, to have some sex, to make some love or something, right? And as a woman, as perhaps even a connoisseur, what should every grown ass man know about sexual encounters, especially early in the relationship?
Oh, that is such a broad question. Can you try to narrow it down?
Yeah. What should a man never do on the first night of sex?
Assume that you're going to actually have intercourse. If I feel like somebody is in a rush to get somewhere, like even if we just take off, like
expectations, all those are.
Yeah, I want to feel the kind of spaciousness, like anything can happen and nothing needs to happen. And if I feel that person is so relaxed and just sort of allowing the moment to unfold, then I'm a lot more likely to want to unfold into deeper layers. Like if we actually stay with the like what is feeling good right now, as opposed to like, oh, I need to move it along, or I need to. But at the same time, I also want to feel someone's desire and sort of like with attunement, I also want to feel like if somebody is feeling passionate and like wanting to move in that direction, it's like, okay, like kind of try me, like see how I'm going to respond.
Yeah.
If I feel someone holding back or sort of, I'm not the kind of person that wants to be asked before being kissed or something like that. Some women want that. I kind of want my man to be psychic enough to just know that I want it.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's all that complicated a matter in most cases.
yeah.
I love that. Beautiful. So slow, like making room for your desire to come forth and really come out instead of you having to like be slowing things down
Or just feeling like there's like the intimacy is a kind of open field of possibility, that it's not like, okay, first we do this, then we do this, then we do that, it's not a race to get anywhere. I mean, those initial dates are so juicy and full of that like potentiality that's not yet fully like it's like the apple you haven't quite bit into yet. That like
yeah, if I'm honest, like some of my favorite play is that play of desire, like when the desire is building before anything even really happens. Maybe there's just some heavy petting and some yummy just making out and touch. It's like when that's building, like you can never get that back.
I want it.
Just like nothing's easier than that.
And also I like it when guys make sounds of delight, sort of those like and like sort of like very audibly enjoying me, or like you can never compliment a woman's body too much, or sort of like whatever shape, whatever curves and sizes, like, oh my god, this body, wow, and this is just can never get too much of that.
It was such a beautiful phrase. Thank you so much. Never compliment a woman's body too much. You're being intimate with her. Maybe you can if you're following her down the street and she doesn't know you, right?
Okay, that might be weird.
So there are a lot of guys right now who are terrified to approach women. Me Too movement has sort of just proved to them that women don't really want to be interacted with by men. They're angry, they're resentful, these guys don't want to appear creepy or aggressive in some way. Like, what would you say to these men who are afraid to talk to women because they're afraid that women just like in general don't want to be approached by men or don't want to be bothered by
men? I'm remembering, so I used to go to Harbin Hot Springs a lot, and I never felt creeped on, or oh, people are staring at me, or I never had that experience. Hey, everybody's naked, everybody's looking at each other, like I sense that as something sort of normal in that kind of space. There are always going to be women who feel like, oh my god, if a man so much as looks in my direction, he's being creepy, he's invading my space. And I feel like there's a lot of work for women to do around sort of owning our boundaries and sort of being willing to sort of like, hey, this is my space, and I don't feel like people fuck with me. I don't feel like people harass me that much, or like, I mean, like every woman gets it a little bit to some extent, but I'm not like, my filter on the world isn't looking for people to be creepy, but there's a lot of women who have had a lot of difficult experience that even the nicest, most attuned guy totally in his heart is going to upset them. And I don't think that that's the majority of women. I think that, there are those women that will never, ever want to be approached. And it's just like, okay, well, sometimes it's not going to go well, and that's okay. But I don't think that should stop people from doing their best to be in their heart, in their body, like just approaching with sincerity and ready to kind of like do the, okay, namaste, I'm peacing out now, like, ready to sort of politely excuse themselves when needed. But I don't want to personally see us get to a world where nobody talks to anybody and nobody has any sex and nobody looks each other in the eye, and that's not the kind of world I want to live in. So as challenging as it is, I think it's well worth the effort to continue just like standing in one's truth and in their presence in their body, and with as much care to the situation, and ready to say like, oh, I'm sorry if it wasn't a welcome approach, but
Yeah,
I think we have to keep trying to find the way forward.
And really, I'm hearing the essence is just remember that it's actually probably a minority of women who really just don't ever want to be approached, and that it's a matter of respect and listening and taking the cues instantly and sort of bowing out,
Mm-hmm.
if that's the case. But that please don't withhold your affection, attention, and compliments from the world because of a few people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just have a few more minutes to be on the recording, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One more question.
Okay.
So last question is, what do you want men to know about your world? There's this piece for me that feels so important for men to understand that a woman's world, to like get that there's differences, and what are some of the differences you want a man to be aware of as he's engaging with you and interacting with you and approaching you or even loving you? Like, what are some of the things that you just wish that men got about what it's like to be a woman?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's pretty trippy, the kind of emotional swings of mood and energy levels that women experience over the course of their monthly cycle. There are so many different aspects of me and different ways that I want to be cared for and held and supported and celebrated. There's the me that's super feisty and fiery and sensual and that wants to have space to like be my wild tigress with all that energy and all that passion. And then there's the me that's like, and I just want to like be in my pajamas and be held and like not have to like try to put on the sexy act all the time. I think it's been hard for me to let myself be in those more tender, watery spaces, and to feel like it's okay for me to be that. Like when I have a man in my life who just so readily can welcome those swings of emotions, and it may be like over the course of a day, I go through like several different phases, or over the course of the month, or even like there may be a period of a few months where things are sort of tough, or things are really activated, or but just kind of for the man to hold the knowing that whatever phase a woman is in, it's bound to change, and to just kind of be consistently loving her, showing up with kind of unconditional positive regard, and with that kind of like not needing to fix, not needing to whatever, but just sort of like, one of my lovers, when I was like kind of sick one day, or in my pajamas, and he's just like, baby, I'm still just like, I know you're like not feeling well, but like I could just tear your clothes off right now. Like I'm still so attracted to you. It's so like you don't have anything to worry about. And it's awesome to feel that kind of like consistent devotion through whatever the phases are. And beautiful. And yeah, when there's a day when I want to be cuddled and I'm maybe not feeling like just ripping our clothes off and getting into bed, going with what does feel good and nourishing and pleasurable to her at that time. So maybe pleasurable to me at that time is cuddling and breathing together, and the guy may not think that that's going to lead to sex, but if I feel like really nice and relaxed and I'm like, oh, and he's just like holding me so well, and all my little like inner tension just gets to start melting, then I'm like, okay, I'm feeling meltier. Ooh, okay, I can invite in some more pleasure. It's like whatever does feel good can open into more feel good.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
This has really helped to anchor some of the really core principles that like run throughout the teaching that I'm doing, and this whole idea of really outslowing a woman and out like staying slower than her system, and never sort of, to the extent that you can, really never giving a woman occasion to sort of have to like lock up or freeze or pull back, right? But
Mhm.
just like creating so much space for you to inhabit your body, and to be in the pleasure that is now, and that always creates so much room for your authenticity to come forth, and for your pleasure to want to come
Mhm.
forth, honestly, right? Like, yeah. Thank you so much. It's been sweet connecting with you.
My
I'm so
pleasure.
grateful for you.
My pleasure. I'm happy about what you're up to in the world and
Mm.
all these bright men you're going to be releasing out into the community.
Everybody wins when we get some more
Yeah.
men who are capable of holding this pole, right?
Yeah, just let me know if they want my number or anything like that. Just
Get on that call. See what happens. Mm. Thank you.
Mwah.
Be well, be well.
Bye.
See if I can find the off button. There it is. Take care.